an update for you here. This is my main studio. I have been building a live set, okay, in the other room. And some of you have emailed me asking me, hey, what happened to your big room of synthesizers? I wouldn't exactly call this a big room, but it is filled with some big synthesizers. And Robbie, the robot, yeah, he's my little friend here that kind of keeps me company while I'm writing some of the tracks that I write. I would say that this is my big gun studio. I have the big guns in here, and I like to take the time and sculpt tracks in this room. Maybe build an entire track, a mix, I should say, one track at a time with these synthesizers. I try to use a sequencer every now and then to get like a rhythm going, maybe a bass or a melody. But usually in this room, I'm laying stuff down one track at a time. And my workhorses, I just absolutely love sequential synthesizers, as you can tell. I've got quite a few of them in here right now. And they're so unique, they're so powerful, and they sound fantastic in a mix. I always find a place in the mix for my sequential synthesizers, and I just love those guys over there. They're still sequential. You can hear my chair squeaking back there. Um, they're still sequential, but Focusrite, as some of you may or may not know, now owns Sequential. And I think it's kind of funny because, you know, companies come and go, people sell things, people move stuff all the time. And, the sequential name has been around for decades. And time for a change. I mean, Dave decided that he wanted to sell the sequential name and give it over to Focusrite so they can continue on his legacy. And here's the cool thing: I have a Novation Summit here, and this is owned. This company, Novation, is owned by Focusrite. Okay, and it would be interesting to see if because now listen, Dave Smith is still working over there, right? He's still working at Sequential. It's a department of Focusrite. So it'd be interesting to see if Dave is going to bring his analog genius into the genius of the Novation Summit. I had this synthesizer totally pegged wrong. I've never spoken bad on my videos about the Novation Summit. I just never felt it was for me. But now I own one, and I can clearly tell you that this is one of the most fantastic hybrid digital analog synthesizers I have ever experienced. Okay, and this is why it's important not to do speculation on gear before you've experienced it. There's too many YouTubers out there. They don't own what they're talking about, and they make assumptions. They make negative assumptions. Now, the Prophet 12, I've had this a few times in my studio, and I'm very glad to see it here to stay for now. I mean, you never know with me, right? But I think this one's a keeper. I'm really enjoying some of the FM sounds I'm getting out of this synth. Then there's the legendary Poly Evolver. I have more synthesizers in the other room on a shelf. I can't fit everything in here at one time, so I try to move stuff around. Here's another favorite hybrid of mine. It is the Hydrasynth. Absolutely incredible synthesizer. Just absolutely love this thing. Um, I love all of these synths. The Moog 1, it's not on right now simply because the fan gets a little loud when you first turn it on. It's nothing. It's not a deal breaker. But it does take a while to boot, and I don't like to boot it up. I call it booting up because it seems like a big computer, unless I absolutely need to. Okay, this thing is amazing. The Polybrute sounds absolutely fantastic. And it sounds so freaking good that for the first time in years, I took out my Juno 106. Okay. Now, you guys know I love my Juno 106. I still have it, all right? But it was in my studio for quite a while, and it's no longer here. It's no longer here in the studio simply because this machine can do so much, and it's so close to a Juno that I didn't find a need for the Juno right now. But you know what? You always need a Juno 106, right? Okay. And then this. Oh, the monopoly. Oh, Behringer knocked it out of the ballpark. I know I'm going to freak people out because there's some people out there that just don't get what Behringer's doing. Compare Behringer, if you will, to a generic drug company. You need your medication, but you can't afford it. And then the doctor writes you a prescription where you can substitute a generic drug for your main medicine that you normally would pay hundreds or even thousands of dollars for. But now you get a generic for, a fraction of the cost. And that's to me, that's Behringer. This is the brand that you buy when you can't go out and buy a $2,000, $3,000 vintage monopoly. I owned a vintage monopoly, so I know what I'm talking about when I tell you that this thing nails the sound. I'm so happy. This thing can do leads. It can do pads. Yes, you can get pads out of this thing. And they're not long drawn out pads. Come on, guys. It's not that kind of a synth. You can get some incredible basses out of this. And, there's some people out there that just don't understand that Behringer can actually make a great synthesizer. The monopoly is one of them. I think that's about it. I've got the Pro 2 over here. I had this several times too. Love it. I love all of these synthesizers. Maybe I'll talk more about my live set once I get it tweaked. But until next time, you should keep calm and synth on. And you should also hit that subscribe button and tap that bell. If you don't tap that bell, you may not be notified that I've got new videos up. So that's important. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. And peace and love.